This is the story of the magic radio flyer when Pojoe and Gaga meet themselves. Pojoe and Gaga loved playing with their friends Sam and Samantha. One day, Pojoe, Gaga, Sam, and Samantha were looking for something to do. They walked into Sam's garage. It was a disaster. "Nothing good in here," said Sam. "Wait," said Pojoe. "That looks fun." "What, that old thing?" Sam asked. "It's broken and dirty." "Yeah, but not if we fix its wheel and clean it up," said Pojoe. "Let's do it!" yelled Gaga. Pojoe, Sam, Samantha, and Gaga worked really hard to clean the wagon and fix its broken wheel. It took all day, but in the end, it looked great. "Let's take it for a ride," said Sam. Right when they pushed the wagon out of the garage, they heard a voice growl. "What the heck do you think you're doing with that?" It was Sam's grandpa, and he didn't look happy. "Oh, we found this old wagon, cleaned it up, and fixed its broken wheel. Now we want to play with it." Sam's grandpa was silent for a minute. Then he said, "This wagon is magic, not a toy, and I'm not sure you're old enough to use it." "Please, we'll be careful," said Pojoe, Gaga, Sam, and Samantha all at once. Sam's grandpa thought for a minute again. "All right, get in, but I'm driving." Pojoe, Gaga, Sam, and Samantha had no idea what they were in for. "Hold on tight," yelled Grandpa. "We're going to pick up speed." And he laughed, a very excited laugh. They did pick up speed. So much speed that the wagon broke away from the tractor pulling it. It was going so fast, it took right off the ground and headed into space. You would think being flung into space would cause Pojoe, Gaga, Sam, and Samantha to scream their heads off. But space was so beautiful. They all just silently stared at the beautiful stars. Only Gaga quietly spoke. "Space is cool." It was right about then that they passed through a time portal, but they didn't even know what happened yet. The time portal had flung the red radio flyer wagon into the future, and Pojoe, Gaga, Sam, and Samantha with it. The wagon finally landed in a beautiful park. Gaga was freaking out, yelling, "How are we ever going to get home?" Samantha immediately hid in the bushes, but Pojoe and Sam were excited and wanted to explore. All of a sudden, Sam whispered, "Pojoe, what is that?" as he pointed to two dark figures walking toward them. "It doesn't look good," Pojoe whispered back. "Get Gaga and Samantha and let's run." They all ran as fast as they could toward a light coming from an apartment complex. They raced up the stairs as fast as they could, only to find the very same figures they were trying to run away from. Samantha was crying. Gaga was ready to karate chop them. Sam hid behind Gaga, but Pojoe was looking carefully at the two figures and said, "Wait a minute. That scream guy has an ear and what looks like blonde highlights in a bowl cut. And he's wearing jeans and socks. The Skeletor dude actually has a hand. I can see his fingers. These aren't scary figures. They're kids, just like us. Both Scream and Skeletor took off their masks. Of course, but glad we scared you, said the Scream Kid. I'm Glenn, and this is my brother Gavin. Are you here to trick or treat? Suddenly, Samantha burst out laughing. Of course! Look at the pumpkins! It must be Halloween! She looked extremely relieved. Pojoe was laughing too and said, I'm Pojoe. This is my brother Gaga and our friends Sam and Samantha. Nice to meet you. But Glenn got a weird look on his face. Wait a minute. I was called Pojoe when I was little, and my brother was called Gaga. You two look just like us, but younger. Pojoe and Gaga told Glenn and Gavin about their magic wagon. They all figured out that they must have gone through a time portal in space that brought them to visit their future selves. So cool, said Gavin, and he and Gaga laughed so hard they got the hiccups. Glenn, Gavin, Pojoe, Gaga, Sam, and Samantha all grabbed some Halloween candy and ran to the park to play. When they got there, they found that the magic wagon had become ginormous. Probably to get back through the space and time, said Glenn wisely. They all played until it started to get dark. We'd better head home, said Samantha. She started to look a little worried. Glenn and Gavin watched as Pojoe, Gaga, Sam, and Samantha all climbed into the magic red wagon. Pojoe had a very sad look on his face as Glenn and Gavin waved goodbye to, well, themselves and their old friends, Sam and Samantha. We won't see you later, yelled Gaga. We'll be you later. And they all could hear Gavin and Glenn laughing so hard as they flew back into space and time. Gaga thought he heard a hiccup.